hope your day's going great. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to bring you one of my favorite cookie recipes. This is not something that I actually grew up with. It was a recipe that after Mom and Dad had moved, after Dad had retired and they had moved to Elmira, Mom stumbled on this recipe that an older gal at one of my dad's first churches, I forget how it goes. I think she was at one of his first churches. She made cookies for them for their wedding. This older Italian gal, and she was just this amazing baker, and we stumbled on this recipe for Kolacky. And what's so funny is we lost the recipe. Ready, guys? Lost the recipe for years. So I had to find one. I searched all over, found one on all recipes. And get this. Years and years ago, my sister and I went in together and we bought my mom a new dishwasher. Now you have to understand, my mom's countertops were seamless. There were no, cuts in the counters on either side of the dishwasher. When they removed the dishwasher, there alongside it was the Kolacky recipe. How did it even get there? It was like magic. I don't know. It was interesting. So the original recipe does have yeast in it. But let's face it, yeast has been a little hard to find this year, and sometimes people get a little intimidated when working with yeast, even though you shouldn't be. But I've stuck to using the really simple dough, okay? The dough is actually just 3 ingredients, so any of you who, whether you bake a lot or maybe you're just dipping your toes in the pond of baking, I think you're really gonna like this. So guys, your dough is simply this. It is going to be 6 ounces of cream cheese. So when you buy your cream cheese, it's in 8-ounce blocks. So here's the last little 2 ounces. So you're just gonna cut that off, okay? You're gonna have 6 ounces of cream cheese you're gonna drop in your bowl, and 2 sticks of butter, okay? So a full cup of butter. Yeah, this is really healthy. I used a lighter cream cheese to kind of compensate, okay? Now, you do want them to be softened. So what I like to do, because I'm so bad about thinking ahead, I threw my cream cheese in here with my 2 sticks of butter, and I do them on defrost for 30 seconds, and that actually gives me really nice consistency. So I've already started stirring these up. They're nice and soft, as you can see. So again, just 30 seconds on defrost on your microwave, okay? So I'm just gonna get these nice and incorporated here. You can use beaters if you want, okay? Sometimes I do, I'll throw it under the KitchenAid. I really don't recommend a hand mixer because this is a very stiff dough. You could burn up your motor, especially if you're using a cheaper one like a Sunbeam, okay? Ask me how I know. Okay, so it's gonna be fairly stiff, but you really want that butter and that cream cheese to be very nicely mixed, okay? Just using our bamboo spoons here. I can't even tell you how old this guy is. I'm curious, who out there owns our bamboo spoons and has had them for years and years and years? Guys, I'm telling you what, these are still one of my go-to gifts. I love that you can get them in the set. And I can break apart the set if I want to, and I can put a little note with it, hope you're stirring up a great birthday or a great holiday or whatever. It's just a great gift. Or sometimes I will give them all together, and I will put them in one of our oven mitts, because who can't use extra, bamboo spoons in their kitchen? They're just such a necessity. Oh my goodness. So have that all stirred up. Now what we need is 2 cups of flour. Okay. Here we go. So we have 1. Love our measuring cups, just saying. I got these canisters at Sam's Club. You gotta love a good beefy canister for your things, right? I should probably get some commission from Sam's Club, but it really packs a punch. Okay, so 2 cups of flour. Let's give this a stir. And like I said, this dough is gonna be very stiff. Now, the recipe that I used when I first saw this for this particular one, it said to refrigerate the dough. Guys, that will give you a more flaky dough, because when it hits the heat of the oven, all the fat and the butter will create those flaky layers. I'm not gonna lie, we usually get a little too impatient, so I usually make a pan right away, okay? Now, we're just giving this a good stir here. Now, this is where I get down and dirty, okay? You ready? We get our hands in it. Anybody else here mix with your hands? I do. Gotta get in there. Their jewelry stays on. I don't care. It's an act of love, right? If this isn't your bag, have the kids wash their hands and let them get involved, okay? It'll get some of their energy out. It's gonna feel like the dough is not gonna come together, guys. It will, okay? You just gotta work at it. You're okay. You don't wanna be too rough with it. You don't wanna over mix because then you're gonna have the gluten will get tough on you, okay? But there you go. Once you kind of see that it's coming together, okay? There we go. Now, it is okay if you have some like extra in the bottom here. Do you see like some little crumbles there? This is such a forgiving dough, my darlings. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take a portion of it here. Some of you do not own our pastry mat, and I'm just gonna tell you what, it will be one of the best purchases you make, especially if you're a baker or you're getting into the world of baking, okay guys? Because it's just so large, especially like when I'm really making kolacky for like the holidays, guys, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, like I don't waste any time. I mean, we're talking multiple sticks of cream cheese and butter because I make quite a bit at once, okay? So I really don't mess around, and I really like I'll fill this whole pastry mat, okay, with the dough. Now, we sell a beautiful rolling pin. I still love this baker's roller, okay, because I just feel I have more control because you got the nice little thumb guy there to put your thumb in. I don't even know what it's called, but it just makes it easy to use. So I'm gonna do this quick just because I don't want to waste you guys' time, but you just roll this out. You can see it's a really nice to work with dough. Again, I don't mind if some of that flour is still in the bottom of my mixing bowl because then I take it and I can flour this off. Okay. Really easy dough to work with, guys. You see? Now, what we're gonna do, you can take a knife. I prefer to use a pizza cutter. Now, here's the thing, guys. Our pizza cutter is super sharp, okay? So you're not gonna be really bearing down, just enough to cut through your dough, because if you really bear down on this, you're gonna cut your pastry mat, okay? So just enough just to make it through your dough, okay? We don't need to be giving it our strength. So what we're gonna do now is what I love with our pastry mat is, I don't know if you can see, but there's all little markings, so I can actually have like a guide here. So here's like this. I can come down, eyeball it down with this line down here, and gets a really nice even cut, okay? Let's see, we're gonna come here. There we go. Now again, when I'm really going to town for Christmas, this like whole mat is covered. For Thanksgiving, the whole mat is covered with dough. I'm just showing you a smaller version just to give you a little look. Okay, we're gonna do this, boom. Now you can make them super small. I do cherry ones, so I'm gonna make mine a little bigger. So we're just gonna cut this into 4s. Okay, there we go. So now our dough is nice and cut, it's ready to go. Now here's what I mix, guys. Some of you are driving, my hands are, I don't mind, I'm a baker. I feel at home with flour and dough on my hands, okay? So in my little bowl here, I have 1 can of cherry pie filling. Guys, the beautiful thing with kolacky, you can do anything. You can go as simple as preserves or jam or jelly. I will tell you, if you go out with a straight like jam, very sparse, because when the heat of your oven hits that, it's really gonna liquefy a lot. It's gonna run out. So just honestly, that's where less is more. Preserves, because they have more of the chunky fruit, they're gonna hold a little better, okay? My favorite though for these is either mincemeat. Love mincemeat. Does anybody else there, I mean, who out there, I'm curious, who out there has ever had mincemeat and actually likes it? My grandmother would can it and it was out of this world. I love all those spices. Delicious. It's very rich though. So I'll make these with mincemeat. Sometimes I will do a nut filling, okay? Our favorite is cherry. And guys, I started off doing straight out cherry pie filling. Found it was a little sweet for our taste. So what I do now, 1 can of cherry pie filling, and then I get a can of these. I know it's probably gonna look backwards to you. It's the red tart pitted cherries. They're gonna be in water, okay? If you're lucky enough, Aldi's gets these like twice a year. They go fast. So when you see them, don't even think twice, get like 6 cans, okay? But these are so delicious. And you do need to drain them off. So here they are, all drained in our Easy Read measuring colander. It does have measurements. I did not need measurements for this because I just needed to drain the can off. But again, guys, I've shown you this before, and it just goes to show I use this all year round. So that's what they're gonna look like when they're all drained off, okay? You do not want the cherries in the syrup, okay? That's going to be sweet on sweet. You're going to defeat the purpose. This is going to really tone down the sweetness of that pie filling, and it ups the cherryness. Yum, 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 yum. But again, you could do, if you're not a cherry fan, you can do blueberry pie filling and add in some fresh blueberries. You can do cherry pie filling. I mean, really have fun with it, okay? So we've got our little kolachkis here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of that cherry pie filling. I usually do about 3 or 4 cherries. I don't know if that's a little, I'm really not OCD with things, but it's just what I do. And now I'm going to pick up the corners and I'm going to pinch. Now, here's the thing, guys. It is okay. I never sweat it if while these bake. Sometimes they come open. It's okay. They're still going to be delicious, okay? Let's get this guy here. Let's get our cherries. Who's going to come over and have some coffee or tea and some kolachkis with me today, huh? I'd love to host you. Rona can go away. I'm tired of Rona being here and keeping me from all my friends. Okay. I'm going to put some more down. But guys, again, if you really love like pecans and stuff, you can go online and just look up the nut filling recipe for like nut breads and mix that off and fill these with that. So look how pretty. Now guys, I like to do, sometimes I'll do the really coarse sugar. I'll sprinkle it on here. You can do an egg wash and then put slivered almonds. I'm just going to bake these as is. They're going to be delicious as is, okay? There we go. Boop. Here we go. Okay, so these are all pinched and they're ready to go. So now, Mom actually has bread in the oven right now. I cannot bake these in my oven. I want to eat them like really soon. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the air fryer. Yeah, you heard me right. See, some of you little stinkers, you say, oh, I have an air fryer, Grace. So I tried it, I didn't like it. Or I own an air fryer. I'm like, yeah, you own an air fryer. An air fryer. That's so cute. Ha! You don't have the deluxe air fryer, AKA easy bake oven on steroids. Guys, I'm going to bake cookies in this bad boy. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to turn it to the bake setting, 350, which is exactly what these cookies need to bake at. So if you are going to bake these in your oven, 350, okay? I can't, we got bread in there, okay? Now, here's my trick. I think I shared this, but I have some new viewers and I need to give you this trick. So here's the racks for the air fryer, okay? I could put the cookies right on there and then I'll have to clean them later and it's a pain. So what I do is I have 2 sheets of parchment paper here, okay? I'm gonna roll them. Where's my shears? If you don't have these Pampered Chef shears, these are amazing, especially if you're crafting out there. I see so many of you doing all those really cool fabric crafts. These are like amazing. And some of you are still giving yourselves at-home haircuts. I mean, no, please don't, please don't. I've seen some of your homemade bangs. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure first, and so we know we need to take about that much off so it fits. And then because we want the air circulation, we're gonna take our scissors, we're just gonna snip, snip, snip. And that way, when we unroll these, we have little vents to allow the air to circulate. Yay, okay? You can buy papers on Amazon that are already fitted, like for an air fryer with all the holes. I just had a surplus of parchment paper, so it just kind of made sense to use it up. Why buy more? So we're gonna set this down, like so. And now I'm gonna take my kolachki. I'm gonna lay it right on.
That looks good, Mama.
Oh, it's gonna be delicious, baby. You love kolachki. You've had them. Now these aren't gonna spread, guys. Okay, this is not gonna be a dough like a chocolate chip cookie that it's gonna spread around. Like I said, the most that's gonna happen is these might open up a little in baking, and who cares? So you can really pack them in nicely. So what's gonna happen then is I'm gonna do the rows. I can fit 4 more on here, and I'll just open my air fryer. I'll have 1 rack here.
And that would make 8, and I'm 8 years old.
That's right. And if I do a second rack, what is 8 plus 8?
16.
Excellent. Very good. So once I have all my kolachki in there, my friends, I'll close this, okay? When you put this on bake, it's automatically going to set for 15 minutes, okay? These cookies actually bake 12 to 15 minutes. I'm actually going to pull it back. Oh, there we go. I'm going to press the middle button. And then that's going to start blinking, and I'm going to pull this back to 12 minutes. I
Good.
will hit start. Guys, what's so cool with this is halfway through the bake time, because the sheets will need to be rotated, and Pampered Chef knew that we couldn't be trusted to remember, like, oh, I have to rotate. It will beep at me, beep, beep, to let me know I got to just rotate those racks. But guys, how cool is that? Because, you know, sometimes you may not want to bake off a whole big batch of cookies at once, you know. I'll probably actually just do a few trays, and then I'm going to put the rest of the dough in the fridge, and then I can do off some more tomorrow or the next day and have them fresh. It is a beautiful thing. Later today, we are actually going to be doing salmon in here. I may go live with that to show you guys how to make the most amazing salmon without even turning on your oven. And what I love with it is for those of you who maybe haven't cooked a lot, are just getting started in cooking, or maybe you were like me. I started off baking. I did not know how to cook, and it's only through being with Pampered Chef I've cultivated these skills, and products like this have really made it easy, guys. You can do a rotisserie chicken in here. Hello, hello, lovely. We now have skewers, so you can do kebabs. Could you imagine? Could you imagine how fun it would be, like on New Year's Eve, right? To have a whole bunch of kebabs, or New Year's Day, have all kinds of shrimp on the kebab, right? So, so delicious. So that's why I kind of giggle when you all like, I have an air fryer. I'm like, yeah, you have an air fryer with that wonky drawer thing. What, you're doing your pierogies and your you know, your French fries, when you could be doing so much more in this. You can do an 8-inch pie. Hello, hello, right? You can be doing your steaks and your chops and your stuffed chicken breasts, like everything under the sun. Because again, my friends, yes, it's an air fryer, but it is an oven, and it's a rotisserie. And wait for it, where's my hunters? Where's my hunters? It's a dehydrator. So if you need any taste testers for your deer jerky, just saying, giving you a little wink wink. Thank you to Mr. Nick out there, who definitely gave me a taste tester. I ate like that baggie of deer jerky he sent over in like a day. It was so bad. And there was like coffee, my deer jerky, it was amazing. So guys, love the air fryer. So I hope you really try out the Kolacky. So just again,
Yum.
Recipe is super simple. 6 ounces of cream cheese. You can do the full fat or the light. I did try it one time with fat-free, did not like the results. 2 sticks of butter. So 6 ounces of cream cheese, 2 sticks of butter, and 2 cups of flour, okay? The dough is gonna be stiff. You really work at it with your hands, and then a good floured surface to roll out. Very forgiving dough. If you really want your dough to be the flakiest of all flaky, you can chill the dough. I forgot to say this earlier, or you can assemble your Kolacky, put them in the refrigerator for 20 minutes, let them get good and chilled in the refrigerator, and again, you'll get all those beautiful flaky layers. And then again, the fillings are whatever you want, my friends. From a nut filling to fruit, mincemeat, it's really your call, okay? Because the dough is savory, you can go more on that sweet side, okay? Because the dough has no sugar, okay? So let me know if you make these. I would love to hear. We've been making these now for, oh goodness, probably, I'm gonna say like 15 years, maybe 17 years, and it's the one thing that never hangs around because the cutie hubby is like all about it. We all love him, but Ryan always says it's like a little mini cherry pie. So I hope you love these as much as we do, and keep tuned, because like I said, I'll be sharing more and more to come, guys, okay? Have a great one. Thanks for watching.